or a leaderboard. So just appear up in the top right corner. Yeah, the player list. You can do all sorts of things there. You can store kills, currency, deaths, anything you want. Really. It's actually really simple. Now, once I show you how simple it is, you'll it'll just be awesome. All right. So basically, what you're gonna want to do first off is when a player joins the game, you want to give them your stats, right? So you want to do game.players, then player added, then connect a function. So every time a player is added, it's going to do this function here, which will be whatever's in here. And so the first argument of player added is actually the player instance. So you can name this basically whatever you want. Player uh, user, doesn't really matter. I'm just gonna name it player for the sake of this video. So every time a player is added, this will be the instance of the player. So you can, even if it's named, it doesn't matter what's named, but this will be the player. So from there, all you have to do for Leaderstats, and it's actually really simple. All you have to do is make a folder, right? And to make a folder, all you have to do is define the variable new folder, and then instance new and folder. That simple, folder, and then for the Leaderstats to actually work, the folder needs to be named Leaderstats, and the folder has to be parented to player. And so that's it for the Leaderstats. You can name that whatever you want, doesn't really matter as long as the name here is Leaderstats. But new folder, you can name this whatever you want, doesn't matter. But the Leaderstats here has to be named Leaderstats. And so to add a value, it's actually super easy. It can be essentially any value. So let's for example, int value. This is a number value, so an integer. So like this just stores an integer. And so basically, say you have 100 cash, right? It'll be stored inside of this value. Okay, so let's implement that into the script. So new value would be equal to instance.new int value. So that's creating that int value that I just showed you there. And new value dot name. So let's call this currency for the sake of the video. So new value can obviously be changed to whatever you like, but currency, the name of whatever this value is what will show up here. So if I just name this like cash, it will say cash. If I keep it as currency, it will say currency. And in order for this to actually work, you're going to want to put the value inside of the Leaderstats. So you just want to put it inside of the new folder. And it is as easy as that. So if I play it right now, it should, as soon as my player joins, it should create a new folder, name the folder Leaderstats, put it inside of my player, and then insert a new integer value, name that value currency, and put it inside of the folder, which is in the player. And if all that is done as shown, it appears perfectly. So for more visual representation, so it creates the folder, which is right here, and it is named Leaderstats. It is inside of my player here, and inside of that is that integer value inside of the Leaderstats. So it is the default value is 0, obviously. So 0 will display. And since it is named currency, that will be the title right there. And you can do this for as many values as you like. So I have currency as just one. And let's just do second value. And that's just going to be another integer value. And the second value is going to be named. Let's make this skills. And second value has to be parented to the folder. So it's actually the exact same as this. All this is a different name. And so let's say you want to change the values, which is very, very simple. So let's say you want to maybe make a part that every time you click it or activate a prompt, it gives you 100 currency. Sort of like a giver almost. So you can make a separate script or you can do it in the same one, doesn't matter. So all you have to do is get the part. So we're split part. It's just named part. You can name it whatever you want as long as you change this to what it is named. Then you're gonna want to do proximity prompt, which is the prompt that gets the be named whatever you want. But triggered is the event that is fired once the prompt is activated. So once the prompt is triggered, it would connect a function here, similar to this. Similar to here, the first value that it takes is the player, which can also be named whatever you want. You can name user or anything. So I'm just gonna keep it player for the sake of the video. And so to add the value, all you want to do is get the leader stats, which is inside the player. So the leader stats is equal to player. That leader stats you can do doesn't really matter how you do this, as long as you get the leader stats. Right. So once you get the leader stats, which is this folder right here, you're looking for the name. So the folder's name is leader stats, so that's why we're searching for leader stats. So this would be that folder there. Now all these values are inside the folder. So currency would be equal to leaderstats.currency, right? And kills would also be equal to leaderstats.kills. So we're not gonna do anything to this here. We're just gonna add the currency. So all you're gonna want to do is do currency value, and then we're just gonna add 100 to the value, just for testing purposes. So every time we activate the prompt, it's going to add 100 value to whatever it is. So it's 0. And every time we activate, it's going to go plus 100. So 0 plus 100. So then I'll have 100. And then I activate it again, it'll go plus 100. So then I'll have 200. And so on and so on. Okay, so use the part over here. And every time I click it, or interact with it, every time it is triggered, my currency gets increased by 100. And you can do this for kills or any other value, really. That's how simple it is for Leaderstats. That's essentially all it is. It's really simple once you actually um, understand it. Like creating a new folder, integer value. It doesn't have to be int value. You can do this with any value you like. So let's do a third value, just for the sake of this, and let's just make this a string value. So let's say you want to display a group rank or something, right? So you want the players to be ranked accordingly to whatever the group rank is. So I actually don't have a, well, I do, but I'm not going to go through all the effort to do that. But, so let's say you want admins to appear as an admin or whatever. So the string value, will be named to rank, all right, and its parent obviously has to be the new folder. And so let's just make a table. Actually, no. I'll do a separate video for tables. So a string value, you can do whatever you want. So you don't necessarily have to make a separate part just to change the value. You can change the value within here. So let's say I want the character to automatically spawn with 100 currency, and uh, I want their rank to automatically be newbie. Okay, so when I start, I'm obviously going to start with the 100 currency and the newbie rank. And you can also change string values like the same way I did with the proximity prompt. What I have to do is instead of adding an integer value, all you have to do is change the string to whatever you like. So I spawn in and I have 100 currency and I have the rank. So if I take a look at Leaderstats, you can see I have my two values here. I have my integer value, which you can see under class name, and I have string value, which is under class name, and value. As an example, I can show you that you can change. So if you go to like the server view, this is what the server sees. Very laggy. Um, you can you can change the rank. Let's change mine to like pro, and so my rank is pro. So whatever the value is will display here. Whatever the name is will display on top of it. Same for any value that is inserted into the leader stats. However, if the leader stat is named anything but leader stats, so even if it's a capital L, oh, I guess it won't because it's already in there. But um, so let's just change that to a capital L and then try and run it. Come on, there we go. And so even though it is inside of my player, even though there are values inside of it, it is not named correctly, and so it will not work properly. It has to be, it's very case sensitive. It has to be spelled perfectly and all lowercase. So it doesn't matter what you name this. It will not work unless it is named Leaderstack. Now this over here can be named whatever you want. So this can be a capital L, for example. This can be whatever you'd like it to be, but you just have to change all these things. So yeah, it's as simple as that, and like I said, it works for essentially any value. I'm not sure if it'll work for anything other than these two. Actually, number values will obviously work. Booleans probably will not work, obviously, because it's just true or false. And you can do a lot of things with this, like data store. You can hook up a data store, so all this saves. So let's say I join with like 100, and I'm playing for a while, and I get all the way up to like 2,000, and I leave the game, and I come back the next day, and I have 2,000 still. Like it is saved, so I don't have to restart at 100. So that's more advanced. I will probably get into that. Definitely not next. I'm gonna probably show uh, tables and whatnot next. More simple things, and then I'll get onto more advanced things later on. And so that is it for leader stats. It is insanely simple, really self-explanatory. All you're doing is just creating a value and putting it inside of a folder. That is leader stats. It's really that simple.